Hello, hello. It's Anne-Marie Julian Wetzel here, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my Create and Craft session tonight. I am so glad you are joining me. I have a few announcements in the beginning, and then we will get to create. I'm going to do a card this time, and it will be with the new product that's coming out in September. Just moving my chair out of the way. Sorry if you heard that noise. If you're here, say hello. See who I have here. So, hello, Linda and Kathy. Welcome, welcome. So again, a couple of announcements. But before we get started too, always my reminder, if you are not a part of my YouTube channel, please join me at Create and Craft with Anne-Marie on YouTube. And share it with others. I would appreciate that. Here's my shopping site and my Facebook group. Now I do have a business group that's called Scrap and Roll, and then I have my private group, which is what you are on right now. If you are watching this after the fact and you're watching this from YouTube, come on over and join my Scrap and Roll page for lots of creative inspiration and activities and fun and games. I do wanted to announce, I've had a few questions. So this month I'm doing fun and games, and every Wednesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. I post something and you have 10 minutes. And I have been posting a 2 p.m. reminder, but it's just fun and games. If you get the correct answers, or if you responded or participated in it correctly, your name will go on a wheel and I will be giving out additional Happy Mail. Everybody who participates in these creative sessions every week also gets entered in. I know I owe you guys for July, and as I promised, I'm going to do them both July and August together. It's been a really crazy month, and I truly appreciate all of your guys participate or recognizing my shortfallings, I guess, in some aspects because of everything that's been going on. So I truly appreciate it. So, hello, Lynn. Thanks for joining. Marty's here, Brianna's here, welcome, Priscilla too, and Colleen, hello, hello. Okay, so a couple announcements that are important. If you have not seen the videos, I know Stampin' Up! Is creating videos, and we've been informed. 3 big changes with Stampin' Up! One is the red rubber stamps, they're called the cling stamps, will be going away. As of the online releases and any new products that come out after November 1st. So we will have some red rubber. We have that in this online exclusive catalog and the mini catalog. Hopefully you guys are getting yours in the mail. So keep that in mind. So the red rubber stamps will be going away, and we'll only be doing the photopolymer. And the reason behind that is that it's been challenging for Stampin' Up! To be able to get the product to produce that stamp set. It's not that they don't want to continue to do it. It's just a decision that they've had to make because they're limited on what they can obtain. And more and more people are going with the photopolymer. I actually don't even know if anybody else in the stamping industry are doing red rubber. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, so that's the decision for that. As a result, because they will no longer have red rubber, also coming in November, all of the stamps will no longer come in these types of cassettes. They will come in packaged sleeves like this. And so it'll be easier for storage. So I'm excited about that. And then also, the dies will also continue to come into this package like they are now, but they will have the images of the die. So it's not just the words and you have to read word, like this one is going to be a new one that I'm going to show you tonight called Words for the Season Dies, but you'll have the images of what those dies are going forward. So that is a plus also. And they will be selling, if you wanted to get all of your stamps, they'll be selling the sleeves if you wanted to have additional sleeves. I know many of us have been buying the sleeves with the magnets to hold the dies. The dies will not have magnets. They thought about putting the magnets in there, but that then increases the cost of the materials. Magnets are very expensive. I was chatting with my neighbor because he is doing a project with me that includes magnets. So I got a little lesson on the magnets. So just wanted to give you an FYI on that. So those are 3 primary things that you're going to see. There's no more cling stamps as of November. So, and let me just put a preface also. If we have items still in the warehouse in the old packaging, they're going to send it out in the old packaging. And until that inventory is gone, then they'll move those stamps over into the new packaging. Again, I hope that makes sense to everybody. So that, again, you'll see those changes coming in November. So now I wanted to let everybody know I did post the online exclusive, the PDF. So check under files under the scrap and roll page, and you can see all of the items in here. Again, they'll show by suite, bundle, and then individual items. So you'll see them in a variety of ways in here. And again, the same with the mini catalog. You'll see that we'll have scrapbook workshops, then they'll have their paper and their stamps, and then individual dies and other things. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I absolutely love both of these items in here. I spent way too much money, and good for you that I have messed up on several items with my order. I was actually heading to Rochester and have ordered several duplicated items. Shame on me, but that benefits you because then I'll be doing them as giveaways and prizes next month. Okay, so keep an eye out for what is to come for that. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do tonight. So I made this card. This is called a variegated panel card. So I actually added foam tape 3D dimension to this. It has the sunflower embossing folder on it. I actually originally did this without the sun embossing folder, and it does so much, looks so much better. So very, very fun. I'm going to walk you through how to make this card, but I'm using new product. So let's talk to you about that. All right, so just additional other things. So this is the autumn paper. This is the 6x6 designer series paper. And this is the More Messages from the More Messages. And I love my little tiny bees from the embellishments on that. So that's what I used for this card. So tonight what we're going to use is this new paper called Lights of Aurora. So I'm going to pull this out. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I believe you get, 6 to 8 sheets of each paper. Now I've used some of this already. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think we got 8 because I'm actually taking out. We're going to use that one tonight. But here, there's some of the other designs. Look at that. Gorgeous. I love these colors. Actually, it's similar colors to the card I posted on my business page, that angle card, that pointed card. But look at. And then the back sides are just as pretty. So this is like Blackberry Bliss, but look at all of the back side. So now they're not going to be in order, but that's okay. But look at that. Oh, just love it. Hope you guys do too. Again, this is called Lights of Aurora, and it's a 6x6 designer series paper. And then what else am I going to use tonight? No, it's just going over here. All right. So here are items that I'm going to be using. And it's just easier for me to print these off and show you them because it's hard to see in the cases. Again, my mess up, I never ordered this sentiment, but it is a bundled package. So here, these are all dies, words for the seasons. So I love this. Nice size dies, and it also includes a little banner. And then there is a coordinating stamp set to go along with the dies, to you and yours, greetings, wishes, happy, even though the wishes are here as well. They have several things. And then I love the fact that they have inside sentiments, right? We don't have enough of these. So may the magic of Christmas fill each corner in your home and heart. So incredibly grateful for all the blessings, especially you. May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness. Let's toast to yesterday's achievements and tomorrow's bright future, and have a spectacular Halloween. So again, it covers many, many, many of our holidays, our upcoming holidays. So, and again, the dies have autumn, Halloween, holidays, happy Christmas, Merry, greetings, New Year, and wishes. So we're going to use the greetings tonight in the card. So I'm going to set those aside. And let's get started with what we have to make here. So you're going to need your paper trimmer. And what did I just do with my paper? I probably grabbed it and put it back in here. So there it is. I did do that. The other thing I'm doing here, so as I did on the other card with the sunflower, so in case you're joining late, this is a card that we're making, but we're going to use this paper. I actually took the soft, I think it's called, yep, Soft Ways 3D embossing folder, and that is going to be my background, one of my favorites. And I'm going to just move this off to the side for a minute and cut. So what you're going to want to do is your base is going to have be 3 3/4 inches for your designer series paper. So if you're using something that has a true pattern or specific colors that you want, then you're going to want to make sure that you are cutting that in that area. So you may have to cut, because I'm using a 6x6, so you may have to cut a little bit off of here and here to get your 3 3/4. I'm not going to worry about my length yet, and you'll see why. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so hopefully we won't have much interference. Okay, so I am going to cut this down to 3 3/4. You know what? I think I'm going to cut a little bit off of here. So all right, so we got a good variety here. Okay, I do have a template. I will share this with you now. I will also post it on this page under the comments and guides when I post this, but here is this template. So if you're watching this post and on YouTube, you might want to take a screenshot now. Let me set this down flat for you guys, and you can do a screenshot and capture that, because these are the instructions. So to walk you through it, again, your base is 3 3/4. Your width is going to be shortened, but your first strip that we're going to cut is this 1 inch strip. Then we're going to take from both sides a 1/2 inch, then 3/4 of an inch, and then 5/8 of an inch. So those are the panels. But then after, to get that variegated, we are going to cut 3/4 inch from the top of this strip and from the bottom of this strip. And the 1/2 inch here, a 1/4 inch here on both sides, and then again the same on the right side to repeat that pattern. Okay, again, I will post and share this because that's your creative activity, is to create this. Now, the other thing that I was thinking of, because more and more I'm wanting to do, taking my card templates and making it a layout. So my goal is to get a photo that is a 12 by 12 photo, and this would be perfect for scenery, and create something using this template. So keep an eye out for that, because I will be doing a video on that as well. Okay, so now, as I talked about, we want to do our inch mark first. So I'm going to just go to the center here. All right, I'm going to put that aside. These are going to be scraps that I've originally cut off. And I'm just gonna cut my 1 inch. All right, I'm gonna set that aside over here. That is my 1 inch mark. Then I am going to do a 1/2 inch. So again, here is the part I cut from the left side, and this is from the right side. You want to keep these separate. So this is going to be my 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to set that to the side. Then I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch on that side. And now I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. So I still have this piece here. I am going to do my 3/4 of an inch. I am moving that here, bringing this back in, cutting 3/4 of an inch. And I'm measuring from this side, so don't want you guys to panic on that. All right, and now I'm going to do 5/8 of an inch. And I'm going to turn this upside down because I need this side to be it. So 5/8 of an inch, in case you guys are wondering, is you go to the half mark and then it's that 1/8 of an inch, that next tick mark before your 3/4. So that is your 5/8 mark. And that's going to go here. So you can see how they're all falling in line there. This is scrap. I'm not going to need that. And I'm going to do my 5/8 here as well. All right, so you have 7 strips of paper. Again, I don't need this. Now we're going to do, I'm going to bring this back in. All right, I'm going to take all of these strips, and based on the order they're in, the center one is not going to need to be trimmed at all, but I'm going to take 3/4 of an inch off of both of these sides, 1/2 inch off of both of these, 1/4 off of this, and then nothing here. And then 1/4 here, 1/2, and 3/4. Okay? Hopefully that's making sense. So I'm going to do this here. Again, this is 3/4. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit for you guys to see. Maybe if I'm afraid to zoom it in because then you're not going to see my, maybe you will. Just a little bit. Let me see. I just zoomed it in. I'm going to give it a second. All right. So again, I'm going to take this at 3/4, and then I'm going to turn it around and do that at 3/4, and that's going to go there. Again, these are all scraps. Now my next one is at 1/2, so turn it around and do 1/2. Let me see if I have, oh, I have lots more people. So, okay. So, there's that, and you kind of see how that's lining up. Then this is going to be a 1/4 inch. Oop, I almost did a 1/2 inch. So this is my 1/4. And then I'm going to do this at a 1/4. All right. So again, you can see that the differences in how it's falling in line. Again, this is not going to have anything done. So again, this I'm going to do a 1/4. Just going the opposite. But don't you think that would be cool to do a photo, take a large photo and create this type of layout? I think it would be so neat looking. So this is 1/2. Turn it around. All right, and then this is 3/4. Yep. All right, so there we have our Aurora. Isn't that cool looking? Let me get rid of these scraps here. Okay, so did I not? Oh, I did. So I took Night of Navy cardstock and making that my base. But as you can see here, and actually on the sample that I saw on Pinterest, they did not do this. So this is optional. You don't have to do that. But I did a 1/16. It's pretty much like a 1/16 of an inch of cardstock. So on here, I did early espresso on here. And this, I think I am doing, what is this called? This is Berry Burst. So I'm going to do Berry Burst around all of these. So that's just going to take me a little bit of time. So I am, all right, so this I'm going to start with the middle one. So again, this was an inch, right? So I am going an inch, and I am just going to that first line after the inch. That's how tight I want that to be. And then, I don't know why, I got a frog in my throat. Here is, this is like 3 3/4. And I am going to just do an 1/8. And if it, sorry, I am so sorry. Okay, if this is a little bit longer, I can trim it, but it's good. So I have this. I'm going to put my adhesive on. Again, you can see how narrow that is, right? That's gonna go there. So then again, this piece was a 1/2 inch. So I think I have a 1/2 inch already cut, or a little bit bigger than a 1/2 inch. So let me just see here. It might be a little bit wider, but I can trim that off. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. So let me see. My measurement here is at 3 1/4. So I'm gonna do that 1/16 of an inch longer than 3 1/4. And so an explosion photo. Yes, Kathleen, that's probably what it's called. All right. Like I said, this might be a little bit wider and I might have to trim it down, but that's okay. I'd rather it be a little bit wider than not wide enough. So it is a little bit wider, so I'm just gonna take my scissors and just gotta put my glasses on here. I'm surprised that I'm doing this without glasses, but just cutting straight there. Probably would have saved my time if I just cut it the right way instead of using a scrap, right? But here we go. And I'm going to do the same then for this. So this was 3 1/4 with 1/16 of an inch. Let's cut. So keep an eye out for, I am going to end up doing a YouTube channel or a video, and I'll post it to this page, but I want to play more with the product. So I figured, let me show you product this way, but I'm going to show you product and then actually show you inspiration with some of the product. And my goal is to get that done this weekend for you. So right, so we have that. And now this here is at 3/4. So, yep, that fits. So I just need to measure this, and this is going to be 2 7/8. Nope, 2 7/8, not 3 7/8. And I know I need 2 of them, I know that. So I'm just make sure that fits. Yep, I'm gonna have to trim that off a little bit, but that's okay. All right. Sticky fingers tonight. All right, hopefully you guys, oh, now you hear my dog barking. All right, here we go. Just cutting that off. And hopefully this won't be as long or challenging. Maybe if I set it down instead of trying to do it holding up. And again, have this little, just trim off a little bit of that. All right, almost done. I have these last 2 pieces, which are 5/8 of an inch. I'm just going to cut this from scratch here. So again, these are 5/8, so I am just going to go 1/16 of an inch. That's gonna fit there, and let's just measure this. That's 2 1/4. So 1/16 of an inch larger than 2 1/4. Again, very. So again, if you don't feel it's necessary when you do this, when you make your card, that's totally fine. If you don't want to mat it, it is an extra step. I just like the extra layer personally, but that's a personal preference. So are you loving this paper? All right. You have to turn these around. All right, let's put this on here. All right. Okay, we have them all in our row. So it's so weird. Because I did not put this on Do Not Disturb, I think is why it's happening. And I have Kathleen Nutsband Pfeiffer showing up 15 million times. Actually, it's crazy. So why that's happening, I don't know. But Kathleen, I'm glad you're watching. All right. So I'm going to bring this back in. And I'm going to mat this together. Put this on here. And again, it's just 1/16 of an inch on that. But I felt the wave embossing folder would be perfect for the Aurora lights. So just got that. Oh, just need a little bit of adjustment on this side, not much. All right, perfect. All right, so now this is the guessing part. I guess this is somewhat of the challenge, and it's totally up to you. I'm not truly going to measure this out, but I am going to go with my middle piece first. I do recommend that you do your middle piece first. I am not going to use foam tape on this one. I do like the dimension on here, but this time I'm not going to do the dimension. And I am just going to eyeball the center of that. All right, and then I believe this is going to go here. Again, I'm going as close as I can to this piece because I did put that additional matting on it. So I'm pretty much going to go right line up with that. Then the 3/4 piece. And our 5/8 inch piece, which should butt up. It does, butts up right to the end there. Oh, let me go up a little bit higher on this. All right, and I still have to do the title on here. And the title, I'm going to show you, I'm using two-sided adhesive paper. I think I had an inquiry about that over the virtual, so I'm going to show that. And I'm bringing back the masking tape. All right. So there we go, right? Beautiful. All right, let's see who else I have here. Hello, Julie. Okay, so this is going to be for the inside. And as soon as I get those stamped sentiments, I will be putting that in here. And I'm just going to... Oh, why did it jam again? All right, good thing I don't think I need this anymore. But, okay. Just going to put this in the center. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then again, I will stamp a sentiment here. So I have two-sided paper. I cut this down to fit my cardstock here. So to do the two-sided, I am taking off the one side. Believe it or not, this side is sticky also. And I am just going to lay that over my cardstock. The reason I'm doing that is because the sentiment is so delicate. And I am doing greetings. On here. But before I do this, I want this to be shiny. And you know how we used to use liquid glass or liquid pearls? We don't, and then we'd have to wait for it to dry. So I am just going to take heavy duty Scotch tape, masking tape, and I'm just going to make it as long as my cardstock is. And it's perfect width for it. I went a little bit extra, so I'm just going to cut that off. All right, this is garbage. So you can see how it's shiny now. And I'm going to get my die cutting machine here. Put that on here and run this through. Come on. Because I have the double-sided adhesive and cardstock and this tape, I'm going to run this through just a couple of times. I want to make sure this comes out nice and easy for me. All right, so it came off of there pretty well. Let me just move this off my table. Okay. So we have this here. Again, I'm going to pull this off, and it already has the adhesive on it. So here is my G. I'm just going to set that right there because I'm going to want to go this way with my sentiment. And I have a couple of things that I need to poke out. So that little thing on the G, and then the two centers of my E, which should pop out pretty good. Very sticky. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. All right, but can you see how shiny that is? Hopefully you can pick that up. So again, I'm going to place that here. All right. Ooh. You know what? Where is here? Let me see if my, yep, my dot on my eye is right there. So I'm going to take my fine tip tweezers. Come on. I think I need to get a new case for my tweezers. All right. All right, look at that. All right, and now my G is going to hook up to that R. And we have a title that is shiny, and I didn't have to wait for it to dry. Isn't that cool? I know I've showed that a while ago. I thought I'd bring that back out, especially with these letters. It makes it so much nicer. So, and now let's put some bling on here. I think I'm going to use the new bling. These are from, they're called Hugs of Blue Flowers, but they go with the Peace on Earth. So I thought these colors were perfect for it since I have these tweezers out. Let's, oh, I have some clear ones too. Oh, decisions, decisions. I think I'm going to go with the white. I think. No. All right, and then I'll take another one of the smaller ones. All right. And put it right up there. All right. So what do you guys think? Love it? I hope you guys do. Again, I will be out showing you more of the products. I was playing with some. I had Beverly over here this morning, and we were playing with a couple of the new products. So stay tuned for more. So again, your creative activity is to take this card template and make it. using whatever stash you have. Thoughtful Journey would be perfect if you're looking for more of a scenery, or that autumn paper. The Beautiful Gallery paper is also would work well. Or you don't have to have a true nature. It could just be some pretty beautiful paper like this. All right. So thanks so much for watching, and I will go back through and see if I missed any comments and questions. And again, thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye.